so slim, yet twisted. But if she raised her hands to her eyes in such a way to blot out the abomination of her upper body, lifting her chin so her neck ached, she did not think she was so unpretty. Plain, perhaps, but not a monster. She pushed the nightdress from one awkward shoulder and then the other. It caught for a moment on her back and breasts. Then, with a tug, she dislodged it and it fell to the ground, leaving her naked. Once again she placed her hands to block the view, this time just revealing her feet. True, she had not seen many bare feet except in pictures and in the reproductions of classical Greek statues that filled her parents' house. But her feet were not deformed. They were quite petite and elegant. She lifted one and pointed it, then the other. Of course, no one was permitted to see her feet, and it would be shocking if her matching elegant ankles were revealed, even if she were not monstrous. She rearranged her fingers to expose more of her body. Her legs were not quite straight, and it hurt to force them into a normal arrangement, but they too matched the elegance of the female statuary. The delta at the meeting place of her thighs was a mystery to her. All the statues had that area covered. The hair there was as dark as that on her head. But her hips were quite satisfactory, and her waist went in like that of any lady. Not that she was able to wear a corset, and for that she was grateful. It was from there up that things went awry. She dropped her hands. In a perfect woman, the shoulders would be horizontal and parallel to the floor, but hers were irregular. The left was several inches higher than the right. The arch in her spine, when seen from the front, made her look like she was crouching, as if she was embarrassed by the generous proportions of her breasts. Her knowledge of the upper female torso was informed only by the statues. Most had cone-shaped breasts that peak like mountains. Only a couple had more rounded ones like hers, and they did not have the detail of the darkened area at the summit. So she had no idea whether hers, being a hand's breadth in width, was unusual or not. Naked, she walked to the window. It was still early, and there would be no one to see her. The sun on her skin felt warm and pleasing. She stared out across the manicured lawns and precisely calculated gardens. Beyond those were the rounded sheep-grazing hills of the South Downs themselves. The window was closed. She had received all sorts of vague warnings about leaving windows open at night, which ranged from the possibility of catching diseases to attacks from strange men, though she wondered why any man might want to climb up to her third-floor window, especially as she was so repugnant. Anyway, it was no longer night, and she wanted to breathe fresh air. Her distorted back made it hard for her to reach up, so she fetched a chair and climbed onto it. The fact that her body was now completely exposed did not concern her. She undid the lever catch at the top of the sash window and pushed up. The window stuck, and she increased the pressure. It flew upwards and slammed with a great crash into the frame above. She teetered on the chair. A wave of fear rushed through her as there was now nothing between her and a drop to the slabs of the walkway beneath. She grabbed the curtain to steady herself, and relief flushed the tension from her. Cool air rushed in and brushed across her body. The points of her breasts went hard as they sometimes did. Then she froze at the sound of someone clearing their throat. Outside. One of the gardeners stood there. He was gripping the handles of his wheelbarrow, loaded with gardening implements. And he was looking up to her window. The sun was full on her, delineating every curve of her hideously misshapen body.
"Morning, miss,"
he said in quite an ordinary voice that carried up to her through the still, cool air. She did not move. He nodded once, then looked away, lifting his barrow and heading across the gravel into the gardens. Veronica blinked. I should probably get down, she thought, still following his departure. He didn't glance back. I must be terribly ugly that he doesn't want to look.